Oh, yes. I'm glad I wasn't standing over there.
Phil was so loose that he completely lost his racket. And while we don't really want you to be quite that extreme, that lack of tension is exactly the thing that leads to your ultimate potential in both topspin and power. Today's video is all about the release that leads to both of those things. Hey ET fam, thanks for being here. I'm Kirby Bridges and I'm a pro here at EssentialTennis.com. Phil's a recent VIP student of ours who came to work with us from California. He's a high-level player who already has a strong foundation, but he knows that there's always room for improvement. I want to get right into the full forehand lesson, so make sure that you stick around to the end of the video because it's there that I'm going to tell you all about where you can access our free forehand action plan the very next time that you're on court. For now, let's dive right into Phil's forehand transformation.
So first, I want to show you a couple of swing examples of Federer, and there's something really specific that I'm going to point out to you here, and that is going to be where the tip of his racket is pointing at different phases of his swing. Gotcha. So this is like the very bottom of his swing. Right here, the tip of his racket is angled downward towards the court. Not completely, but we've got an angle pointed down. At contact, he
mentioned it before.
He rotates up to contact, and right at the moment of contact, his racket is dead horizontal, perpendicular to the court surface, right? And then it continues to rotate, and so right here, his racket is pointing upwards, right? So we have circular rotation here from bottom of his swing to contact to extension and the first part of his follow through, and so that rotation gives him racket head speed, and it also gives him the vertical swing path that he needs to lift the ball and make it rotate. The pattern on yours is different. You have the same elements happening, but at a different point in time. And let me show you what I mean by that. So here we have the racket pointed down, just like we did for Roger. Now at contact, where is your racket pointing?
Like down still.
Still down. Yeah. And you get to horizontal here after the ball's gone.
And it's like,
and now here it's pointed up.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So it's like late.
Exactly. And so as I play through a couple of these, you'll see pointed down.
Yeah, up a little more, but still down.
Still pointed down. Here's horizontal after contact.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And here's pointed up. And so this is really deceiving, and honestly, I probably wouldn't have picked up on this without the use of the video, because you use your body really strongly, and you hit a solid ball. Ira used the word that was in my head to describe this. It's not a fair term for the level of shot that you're hitting, but the word is but the word is push. It's kind of a pushy hit in that you're keeping this drop through contact and then releasing after the ball is gone.
And then when the contact's not right, then it just flies.
And this, exactly. This is why you have a hard time sometimes going cross court, because you don't release the racket head until after contact, and that's the easiest way to make the ball go at an angle cross court, is actually to release a little early to get the racket face to come around and face to the left. Once we get this working correctly, you'll be able to hit a sharp angle without even unwinding your body. Now, of course, we still want to. We want to use your body. But occasionally on TV, when you see players like on a dead run trying to hit a passing shot, you'll see them on full extension hit, a crazy angle cross court without even having the luxury of being able to turn their body or step in or any of that stuff, simply because they released the racket face and they got it facing at that angle cross court. So it's not necessarily a new movement. We just need to tweak the timing of it a little bit. So for me, this is the one big thing. And once we get comfortable with this, I think it's going to open up a lot of doors for you to be able to hit much higher level of shots in situations that aren't necessarily ideal. there's two different parts of the body that kind of team up to make this happen. There's forearm pronation, and there's also shoulder, internal shoulder rotation. That's causing the racket head to turn around. So what I'd love for you to do is mirror me. Extend your arm. You know, you don't need to hyperextend it, but just extend it so it's straight. And now, without doing anything else other than creating a circle with the tip of your racket, I'd love to see you rotate the racket face around. Yep. It's not very often that I have players focus on actually doing this. Generally speaking, when the body leads the swing, and there's pretty good amount of relaxation and looseness, there's kind of a load that happens here, and then generally the release kind of happens on its own. I think you're probably holding on to it a little bit. You're not aware of it, but I think you're probably holding on to it a little bit kind of manually but until contact, and then letting it go. And so for you, when you do it correctly, it's going to feel kind of forced and, again, kind of like manual, like you're making it happen. But I think pretty quickly you'll probably get a feel for it, and it'll start to happen pretty naturally. So a couple more of these reps, please. I just want you to feel that combination of forearm and shoulder, rotating the racket head around that axis of your forearm, or I guess your arm as a whole. And now I'd love to see you go through like a 10% speed shadow swing. And I want you to copy those, remember those three positions we saw of Roger? So position 1 was racket tip pointed down. Position 2 was contact horizontal. And position 3, you don't have to go all the way through the follow through, just go to that pointed up position for me. So for right now, make a pit stop at all three positions. Position 2, position 3, yep. So tip of the racket pointed down, horizontal, and pointed up. Yep. All right, now just one more kind of variation I'd love to see you do is from that dropped position, I'd love to see you hold this position with the butt cap towards the ball as long as possible before contact, and then turn the racket face to meet the imaginary ball. Yes, yeah, exactly. And so we're kind of creating, the word I used before was lag. We're kind of exaggerating that angle up until the very last second, and then I want to see you deliberately turn the racket head, the racket face. Yep. Look at how that looks.
Right, looks better.
So here's the tip pointed down. You're holding it. That would be contact. There's your other repetition. So this is where I asked you to exaggerate, and so there's a little bit more of an angle there, which is what we saw from that from that Roger example. This is essentially your exaggerated position is like his exactly is like his regular position, and so he's holding that until just before contact.
Gotcha.
And these, by the way, are like warm up, like down the middle, like half speed reps. Like he's not like juicing this up at all. The faster and more aggressively he swings, the more of an angle is going to be created. So this is just like a casual swing for him. So you'll start from here. I'm going to drop, and your goal about at that speed is going to be to turn the racket so that at contact, everything is aligned and horizontal and not pointing down. Does that make sense? Yeah. Let's just try one or two without segmenting. Start from here and turn and follow through. Yep. Want to give it a shot? Yeah. All right, Ira's going to drop to you. I'd like for you to start at position 1, please. Yep. And remember the rep that I did, that was just kind of like casual and slow. I'd love for you to try to copy that same speed. All right, go ahead. Position 1. And your goal is to get the racket horizontal at contact. Nice job, man, nice job. How'd that last one feel? If you had to guess, what position would you say you were at contact?
It was flatter, I feel.
Good answer, flatter. This is
I like it was earlier.
It's getting there, getting there.
It's a little more.
For sure, yeah. So here you are here. This is flat or level.
Yeah.
So you're just below.
Like a millisecond. Before.
Now, Phil, for the next couple, I'd love to see you make contact like right around chest height, maybe a little bit lower than chest height. I want you to rotate that racket head really early on these. Yeah, here, let's check that out. I'm curious.
I felt like it was like up here.
If you were past horizontal, then that would be excellent. You got it right at horizontal.
I got you. Okay.
So this is like a perception thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like to you, it feels like one
Yeah,
thing, but the
one
reality
area
is something different. And so it's a matter of becoming comfortable with this movement and incorporating it into your normal swing. A little bit added element of complexity here. Your primary focus is to get the tip of the racket parallel with your hand at contact. I think the main thing at this point is just to remember that it's not a quickness thing. It's not a speed thing. It's a when, not a how fast.
There you go. Go ahead and feed 2, please. Feel that turn. There you go. Feel that turn of the forearm. Take a look at those.
Good, Phil. I like the first one.
Yeah. The second one felt late.
There we go.
Oh, I turned it too late.
Well, we'll find out. That's the nice thing about this.
Camera doesn't lie.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to tell you what happened.
Yeah,
All right, yeah, it's pretty good.
That's good.
Just below chest height.
And so what I really like about this, Phil, is earlier today, what we would see is contact. You would kind of like hold that position for a frame or two.
Right.
And then you would start turning it. Yeah. What I really like about this first one is it's already in the process.
Right, so here's the
around.
beginning, and this is where you would typically hit the ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yep.
you're starting to get it.
Yeah.
2 more, please. There you go. Turn early.
Nice, Phil.
There you go. Let's take a look at those last ones. Yeah, look at that. Hold on.
That's flat.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of his better ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. And that probably
job.
felt, those last 3 probably felt like off a little bit.
That's on a shoulder high ball.
There you go. Let me know when you think you got one. All right.
I like that one, yeah.
Yeah. I was hoping you were going to say,
It almost looks like it's over.
I mean, I like,
I felt like I almost hit it.
this one he just hit?
yeah,
So that's actually
that was the last
parallel.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
What did it feel like to you?
It just felt really early.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, Phil.
All right, let's take a look. So these are the ones that we asked you to exaggerate.
Oh, okay. So I just need to saturate.
So yeah, we asked you to exaggerate, and at least on the first one, the ball was equal to the hand at contact. A little bit low, but again, still pretty good.
Nice, man.
Pretty solid. So a little bit below.
Remember the
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, Phil, please go. I want you to go back down to that like 25% speed, and you guys will start off with like a casual rally. And I just want you to really focus on just the early rotation, and then slowly we'll ramp up the speed a little bit at a time. No particular target, Phil. Just good. Just focus on the release of the racket on every swing. Awesome, man. Awesome. Nice, Phil. Here, check out, there's just a couple random last last few. This is like 2 feeds ago that Ira hit you, and you made the comment too late after it.
Yeah. How do you feel the difference?
Yeah, there's like it's a really subtle thing.
It's like a 10 millisecond difference makes a difference.
Like I'm watching the overall direction of your racket, like
It's going, it's just too late.
right here.
Yeah.
Rotationally, the racket is static here, from contact to here.
Yes.
There's not really much happening rotationally. The racket, your arm as a whole is lifting,
Yeah.
right?
The wrist is
And so you're getting lift, you're getting positive spin, but there isn't any active
part. Yeah.
release until like right here. Like here we see the racket start to swish and like turn over, but we want to see that
way earlier.
here,
Exactly.
not
Because it's pointless at that point.
right,
It's
not
already
afterwards.
Going, right?
All right, we're gonna go cross court for a couple of fill. And so I'd like to see you really, good shot, really exaggerate the release of your racket head to get the face turned in this direction as opposed to holding on to it. Good. Nice job. Yep. The earlier you rotate, the earlier you start to release, the more cross court the ball will go. Nice job, man. Check out this rep. This is several repetitions ago. This is an example where you didn't get the racket right to horizontal, but there's a really nice amount of active turning and rotating of the racket. You see what I'm saying? And so earlier we were talking about the racket going out to the ball and then coming back, coming back around.
Like a loop.
And so that's what we see here. And so you're actively turning and rotating the racket head around as you make contact, which is what gets the strings around to that angled target. So we didn't, quite get our ideal position at contact, but
This is a settle. That's why I want to settle for.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I wouldn't even call this settling. It depends on like how much shape are you trying to make, for example.
Gotcha.
Like, are we trying to hit a really heavy ball, or is it a ball where we're trying to drive more through the court?
Gotcha.
This was a pretty good combination of both. And so for this particular position and for this particular shot, it could have been the appropriate position to be in. As long as we're not locked in, exactly. As long as we're not locked in here and pushing the ball in that direction, we're heading down the right path. Does that make sense? Ira, can you please bring the basket up to the service line?
Yep.
Shots where you're beginning from the middle of the baseline. Ira's gonna feed you just one ball at a time, but kind of stretch you a little bit, kind of push you a little bit as far as your range is concerned out to the right. And your goal here is to, you're going to keep the same target. Your goal is to loosely allow the racket or turn it manually, whatever it feels like to you, to get it to turn over, to be able to face the racket in that direction. Ball fell. That's great. That's perfect. That's perfect. Really nice. Oh, yes. Hey, I'm glad I wasn't standing over there. I've only seen that happen like a handful of times ever, that somebody's actually let go of the racket. Love seeing that, actually. Really nice, Phil. Really nice. Really nice. And check out that last rep. Nice job, man.
Yeah, that one's almost parallel.
Yep, just about. But most importantly,
It's rotating.
yeah, we're seeing active release, rotation up and around back to your left. Powerful turn there with your body. It's really nice.
When Phil came to us, he already had a great platform for us to work with. It allowed us to fine-tune his forehand by working on the release so that he can find the ultimate potential in topspin and power. But this is just the beginning for Phil. In order to really cement these habits, we sent him home with a detailed step-by-step action plan. And now I'd like to invite you to the same exact opportunity. We can't be with you the very next time you're on court, but we can give you the next best thing. If you'd like our coaching the very next time that you hit the tennis court, click on the link in the description below or go to www.forehandactionplan.com and we can be right there with you. We'll give you a plan to let you know exactly how to get the same results that Phil got. Thank you so much for watching. If you could just do me a favor, after you get your action plan in your inbox and you complete it, make sure you come back to the video and leave us a comment on how your improvement is coming along. We'd really appreciate it. And if you liked the video, give us a like. Make sure you don't miss a single one of our upcoming lessons by subscribing to our channel. We so appreciate the support. Good luck with your tennis, and we will see you next time.